Okay, this is Lynx. I thought I'd shoot this video. I told you guys I would show you how to do the solitaire game with the Hanafuda cards. These are my new Hanafuda cards, and I'm in a public place. I'm waiting. I'm in the middle of things, and I'm waiting for something. So I'm having some coffee. I'm in a public place. So I have laid the cards out so I can hold the camera up on top, because I kind of got to have two hands. So what I've done is I've laid out 4 rows, as you can see here. I'm holding the camera here. 4 rows, 4 across, 4 down. Now you think about this, these are in 4s. If you haven't seen the previous video on the cards, watch the previous video. So I would say, so you first lay out, you go like this. You deal them out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next 4, and then the next 4, and then the next 4, and then you got 4 by 4, and then you lay these out on top this way, up. You're going to be matching cards here, but already now take a look at this. This is spring, summer, winter, and fall. Or I'm sorry, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Okay, now if you're really clever, you can take a look at what's in there and combine it with the season and get some insight. Okay, or you can just read this. Like, for example, I could just read this right across, because what I'm seeing already is you can see a message already. So there's layers to the messages. If you're astute and you pay attention, you can catch the messages as they come up and as they fall out. There's all sorts of ways I'm learning that you could do this. Sometimes you could be shuffling and you can literally pull out of the deck by splitting the cards, all of the cards in the suit, because there's 4 in each suit. And you're looking for 4 in each suit. So as I said, the suits are divided by, in the last video, the suits are divided by, there's 12 suits, 1 for each month. Now you could go as far as saying that each, 1 for each month, and there's 4 cards which would represent the 4 weeks in each month, but considering that these go back pretty far and that there's a more lunar calendar influence, I would hesitate to do so, because there isn't always 4 weeks in a month by that calendar. However, you're reading it now, you could, if you like, try to divide it that way. Well, let's just say that right away you could see a message right here on the top. Take a break to allow virility, strength, drop worry, and your light will return. Right away there could be a message right there. Or you could read it, flexibility, strength and flexibility, affected by sensitivity to the cycles. All right. So then you could keep reading it in a couple of different layers. But this is what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to play the solitaire game, and you're supposed to find the matches. So right away you're going to see that these are the kind of 4 that are set for you, as I've realized it so far. Okay, so let me show you how you do it. So you start, you got all of those dealt out, and then you've got the rest of the deck here. You start like this, all right? So we got that. We're looking for matches. There's the sake related to chrysanthemum. I'm trying to balance the phone here while I do this. Okay, all right. So then we got the moon, so that's going to match the moon. So right away. So what I'm looking for is any one of them that has the 4. That's going to be the message. Okay. So then we got, this is the sorry, not the hyacinth. This is the wisteria, and then we've got the boar, and he's with the clover. Okay. So I'm looking for matches to these. All right. So then. Now this one comes in the deck. This is a bonus that comes in this deck. There's a yellow and a red. And these have to do with fortune, and this would be earth fortune, and the red would be fire fortune. I'm going to set him aside here. Okay, I'm going to set him aside. With this particular deck, they don't come in every deck. But koi are traditionally very lucky, and there's a lot to them. So I'm gonna leave that one up there. Oh, there he is. There's his match. I'd say that's really auspicious that they both came up. Okay, so this is almost the yin and the yang. So we got a little red and yellow. This reminds me of the sun and the moon from those of you who've seen the Airbender. But specifically, I'd say the yellow would be earth and the red would be fire. I'd say together they come up. They're pretty auspicious. So I'd say they're a good fortune combo that came up. I just set them up because they come with the deck, and I don't, and they're for a game that you play. But in terms of fortune telling, I'm just adding this. These two, I believe they're an auspicious combination, especially the fact that they came up as a pair. So I'm setting them aside because that would tell me in this particular case, well, there's something good going on here. So this is already telling me there's a regeneration happening and there's a new cycle starting. And with these two, it's telling me it's going to be fortunate. Now I'm looking for this. This is okay. We got those. That's the peonies. That's summer. There's the peonies. That's okay. That's my match for the iris there. Got the iris. Okay. I'm looking for all four. That's my sakura, I believe. I just got this one, so I'm still learning the pictures. That's the peony. That's the peony. Actually, I think that's the plum blossom, because in this deck there's a koi. There's a koi, I think, with the sakura. Okay, so that's pine, that's winter. Again, I showed you more about these in the last video with another deck. This is pine. Plum blossom. Plum blossom. And there's the cuckoo with the plum blossom. Alright. Now, theoretically, I could pull these out and match them with it. It's not feeling right to do, though. The plum like the sakura, I could have set that up there. It doesn't feel right. I'm sticking with these. I'm sticking with these four. Okay, because these four came up for a reason representing the seasons. These might tell me that that's. So I might read it and say, well, there's some stuff relating to plum blossom going on with the individual very strongly. It might tell me that that's their wants or their desires, but this is what's actually showing right now. So then, what do I got here? There's 3. That's our willow. That's our clover. That's willow. Okay, there's our moon. There's our moon and our grass. That's August. There we go. So right there, that's here. Now, this one I'm setting aside because that's a hit. That's all 4. Okay, so now we got. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That is the willow. I got the willow up there. So wait a minute. This willow goes here. This willow goes here. Did I have another willow? So you see, you got to keep really. I'm doing it at the same time I'm saying, hey, okay, all right. So those were the willow. So these go up here. I'm also looking for the these are maple. Those are willow. Those are the iris, and that's the moon. The moon, we got all of them. All right. So then that's, I believe, the sakura. They come with the koi. All right. That's my. It's not. What is this one? That's our sakura right there. the koi all go together. Okay. Either way, they don't match the top. There we go. Okay, so the only ones I had 4 were the moon. Okay, so the moon here. So I'm gonna push these up. These were only 3, so they don't match. These were only 3 for the willow, so they don't match. And these were that's the maple and the deer. And these 2 did come out, and I did feel so. So I'm gonna say that. So that these 4. So then you were looking at these 4. They match. So the only one I got a match for was the grass. So I'm going to put these together to illustrate it. There we go. There's our picture. Okay. So then I would read this as but traditionally you might say, well, you're going to spend money at night. It's August. August is usually a time of. I'd say this feels like a new cycle of prosperity is swelling and coming. Give it a chance. These 2 guys came out. Now I'm still trying to figure out where these guys are here. So we got the pine, we got the nightingale, and the nightingale. So we had. No, that was the nightingale. So this is I'm pretty sure this is the sakura. This is the plum blossom in this one, because the nightingale's on this one. Yeah. Nightingale and plum blossom, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to say that these are the sakura with the koi. So either way, they didn't match up with the 4 on top. These were the only 4 that came out matching with the 4 that I had on top. And so then I would read with the original message. This cycle is going to be stronger. It feels like because it's coming up, this cycle will be stronger in prosperity. Allow your light to start to emerge. A deeper connection to spirit. Subconscious limitations that you've had, I feel, will break. Romance emerges, which, and by that I mean a greater sense or feeling of romance rather than, I don't know that necessarily relationships, but a feeling of romance, a greater view of possibility in the world. And then balance and secrets, possibly that you've been hiding from yourself, are revealed. That would be the message. And I always go on intuition. It feels like with the combination of the first 4 that I read to you guys, this feels like the message, so it feels right. And then these say, hey, balance will happen and greater prosperity. So that was it. 4 rows of 4 on top. You go through each one by one, trying to see what matches. And that's how you do it. Now, there's several different ways that you can play this game. I've noticed a lot of different people, and I've been playing with it, and I might do it again. If you're interested, I might do another video on it. But that's it. That's the, this is the bigger cards that you can see. The smaller ones they're fun to play with. You can shuffle them, but they're kind of tricky to shuffle. And so then these rows never even got open. So I think theoretically one could, I like to do this with runes, theoretically one could flip over the ones that didn't come out and say these are the pieces that maybe you're hiding from yourself or you're not seeing. But again, divination is all about, I think is about experimentation and play and understanding the symbols and the placement of the symbols. That's one of the things I find interesting about these cards. Is the flowers, the natural world is all around us. The flowers are all around us. Do we really pay attention to what it's trying to tell us? So that's it. that's my little video on how to do the fortune telling game. And then these were the guys. So we got chrysanthemums and, oh, there's my other willow. So that was all the way up at the top. So anyway, so that's it. I hope that makes sense. I am Lucky Links. If you're interested in a reading, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. As always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you have any questions about this, I'll do my best to answer. Like I said, I've been playing with these quite a bit, and they're revealing quite a bit. So I'm trying to give a baseline so not to overload, because you can, I have discovered you can't just read them like this. You can't just pull and read them. If you know what you're doing, you know that you could theoretically say, okay, well, this one is card number X in this month, and then get a sense of it. So, all right, so I hope that makes sense. Try it out, see what you get, play with it, and see what, between this and the last video, what fortunes you come up with.